So, as I am currently recording, Donald Trump is in trial for the hush money case. Now, this case is a lot different because if he loses, he goes to prison. The former trials Donald Trump was involved with were civil court cases, meaning he only lost money. But with Donald Trump being 70 plus years of age, if he goes to prison, it's basically a life sentence. So he better hope that he doesn't get found guilty. Now, this also will have an effect on his poll numbers. We've already seen it. And there's our article about it. Let's go ahead and get into it. Donald Trump poll numbers are dropping. This is from Newsweek. Donald Trump is losing support as President Joe Biden is gaining with just under 7 months to go until the 2024 election, according to polls. Biden has extended his lead over Trump from 1 point in March, 39% to 38% to 4 points in April, 41% to 37%, according to a recent Reuters Ipsos survey of 833 registered voters. The dip in support for Trump continues a trend throughout the year, with a January Reuters Ipsos poll showing that the former president leading Biden by 5 points, 43% to 38%. Since that survey, Trump's support in the 2024 race has fallen 6 points, while Biden's has increased 3 points. And let's go ahead and go down further, because in April, there was an April 13 poll which suggested that Biden has basically completely erased the gap between him and Trump. Now, I want to go ahead and keep in mind that the fact there was ever a really gap in support for Biden, for Trump over Biden, is pretty concerning, especially since Donald Trump is in so much legal trouble. But now it is being brought up to the forefront to all Americans, because I know everybody don't follow politics the way you or me does. So the average person now is getting a big window to look at Donald Trump and his criminality, or his alleged criminality, I should say. But this is going to really hurt his polls, and we're looking at it right now. In April, the New York Times Siena poll showed that Trump and Biden are virtually tied, with Trump leading, holding a 1 point lead, 46% to 45% over the incumbent. In the same poll in March, Trump held a much more substantial 5 point lead. So we are seeing it decreasing. And we know at this point, by a large part, is that it is because of all these criminal trials that are being brought up against Trump. Now, I remember a long time ago, a while back, long time ago, it was like 5 months in politics, but there was a poll that they asked independent voters, would they support a criminal Donald Trump, meaning Donald Trump has been successfully found guilty and is now in prison. Would you still vote for that man? And a lot of independents were like, of course not. Now, Donald Trump is going to keep his core cult-like base, because his core cult-like MAGA base, they aren't going to leave Donald Trump. Maybe one or two of them might, but I would say in large part they aren't leaving, because some of them don't even believe that Donald Trump is even guilty. Some believe all the charges are fake. And when it comes to conspiracy theorists, you have these two kind of avenues they go to. So if Donald Trump is found guilty, they will say, oh, this just proves the deep state is after him and Donald Trump is super omega powerful, which is why they had to stop him. And then they'll probably riot or maybe post on Twitter all day or something. But if Donald Trump is found innocent, well, they'll just say, well, looks like the witch hunt is actually a witch hunt. We told you from the very beginning that it was all fake. And then they will go on to suggest his other criminal trials, which will happen, are also bogus. And then we have the outcome of a hung jury, meaning that the juries can't decide on anything, or they can't make a decision, and it'll be further pushed back. And this would probably most likely be pushed back after Election Day, which could cause some complications if Donald Trump does win over Joe Biden. So we'll just have to wait and see Now, what also will hurt Donald Trump in the polls is the fact that Donald Trump is really, I guess, from some angles, showing his ass in the court. He's been lashing out at in court. Apparently, he has statements after he gets done coming out of the court that are basically self-incriminating. He caused a person on the jury to feel intimidated, which could be considered jury intimidation, which is something you don't do in the court. He was warned for that, and any more warnings for Donald Trump could lead him to go straight directly to jail. And Donald Trump was also caught sleeping supposedly numerous times in court. Now, court is boring as hell, don't get me wrong, but think for a second if this was Joe Biden falling. No, first of all, if Joe Biden was in criminal trials, the right wing would never shut up about it, which, yeah, it would be big news. I wouldn't shut up about it either. But the idea that Joe Biden would fall asleep in court and the right wing would be like, oh, okay, well, no, court's just boring. No, they would not say that. There we go. He's old, his old age, sleepy Joe, unfit for president. So what about Trump? Is he fit for president now too? Because Donald Trump can't even stay awake in a boring meeting. And let's be honest, when you're president, not every meeting you have will be extremely exciting. I'm sure there's some boring ass meetings when you are in the White House. I'm pretty sure not everyone, every single one is super duper interesting. So Donald Trump, everybody, I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll just have to wait and see.